And welcome back once again to another Minecraft Chicago. Today we are at 71 Wacker Drive, which upon the last episode was not even completed, and now it is. As you can see, we have our tower completely finished now. Let's go ahead and take a look from above. You can see all our roofs are in place, and let's take a look from the side. Get under the cloud cover. Very nice. Now, I did have one issue when I was finishing this building, and I'm going to take you over to it in a second. As you can see over here, the inside is backfilled with a blue wool to give it the appearance like the shiny reflectional appearance that a typical building would get. Like, you can't actually see into the windows, so obviously, like down here on this first level, you can see in, but the farther up you go, the reflection bounces off, and so it would look wrong if you could just transparently see into the other side of the building. So that's why we did that for the most part, and it helps the building stand out and it looks better. So my one problem that I did have when I completed this, and we'll go in there in a second and take a look at what I've done in the lobby area, but over here, and you know, I have to admit, this is kind of, well, not kind of, this probably is the stupidest thing I've done in this game so far. Yeah, I know. Originally, when I was telling you about the backfills over here, I didn't use blue wool. I used ice. And the reason I used ice, I know what you're thinking. The reason I used ice is because in this building over here, which was just recently completed, I used ice in it because I like the effect. And I thought that that glow that I was talking to you about, that reflectional outwardsy appearance, looked better like this. And, you know, you can't blame me for trying. And the only thing is, I didn't try to light this building up, whereas I did in 71 Wacker Drive. So, yeah. You ready to see the effects and what happens when you do this? When you act like a noob? You get an indoor waterfall. Yeah. I started placing glowstone next to the ice, and I got, you know, a couple of rows done before it started to melt. So I quickly patched this building up so nothing would leak out, and I salvaged what I could. And, you know, honestly, I could go back and I could fix that, but it would probably take like hours of work. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna let it be an aesthetic feature to our lobby, which, as you can see, is pretty much laid out for our project to begin. What we're gonna do today. Last night I went ahead and took out 2 rows of dirt that were in here, and I replaced it with this nice spruce wood. And as you can see, we have a nice little fireplace going in the center that actually works into our plans. I just went ahead and put that down to start, and we're going to take a look at our railings over here and at the front. Now, the inside of the actual 71 Wacker Drive is sort of an enigma for the common folk, because at this building in Chicago, visitors are actually treated quite hostile when they come near, like taking pictures and stuff, from what I've seen. So there really are not a whole lot of pictures of the inside of this building that can be found anywhere. So what we ended up doing was we found another Hyatt Center that we're going to base our lobby off of, that sort of reflects the same quality style that this one does. Both are 3 stories tall, the lobbies, and both are lobbies of a Hyatt Center. So we're going to be basing our lobby today off of the Hyatt Center in Kansas City, which you can see here. And as you can see, it has an outer layer of like a gray, I would say almost clay, but we're going to use the same light wool that we've been using, this same light gray wool on those 3 stories on the outer shell. And there's a nice little circle thing. That's going to be interesting to try to do, along with the stairway, which shouldn't be that hard. And we'll try to get those overhangs in as well, and some nice little seating areas for our guest. So let's go ahead and begin. I think we're going to start by laying out the floor. Not the floor, the walls. And how we're going to do that. And you know what? Disregard this glowstone that's in here, because this is just so I don't have to keep my night vision on all the time, and we can get a better look at what's going on as the days go by. So let's begin. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and this iron block is just marking where the walls are going to be. I did that the other night, so we're just going to get rid of that, and we are going to start building up. So we will start here in the corner, place a block, and it looks like we're going to go up about 3, and then cut it off, and that's going to be level with the ceiling, or with that base right there. And then we're going to go up another 2 for the next floor, and then a block, and then bring it over, and another 2, and a block, and bring it over. And then finally we have our last block, and this is going to represent the ceiling. And, you know, for a lobby that isn't the correct lobby of this building, that worked out perfect. Because as you can see now, we're going to have 3 distinctive floors, and it's the exact height of our ceiling. So that worked out quite well. Now, we're just going to bring these over. And I'm not exactly sure how far we're going to go with this, and we might edit the front of our lobby to reflect a better look. So let's just bring these over to a point, at least for now, and then we can come back and edit anything that we think we might need to. So I think since this one over here is only going up to, let's see, we will say that this wall ends here at these blocks on this window. Remember what I said before in an earlier episode. This is all about symmetry when you're building. I mean, symmetrical walls and everything. It should be, you know, so what I'm getting at is we're going to line up our walls on the other side right after the glass here on this first block. Long story short. So, bye-bye glowstone. Hello walls. And it's a good thing we didn't extend those all the way to our other wall, otherwise we would be chopping away a lot more blocks than we are right now. And that's why you do that early. Now, I said earlier that in real life, visitors are treated quite hostile at this building, and I'm not even joking at all. You can find out about it all online just by typing in 71 Wacker Drive and hearing from people firsthand. You know, just average people walking by, like they have some art, and actually the windows that I'm working on right here, over there, there's like a circle pattern art kind of thing, and people get stopped just for taking pictures of that and chased off by security guards. And you would think that, you know, they would not be jerks, but they are, so go figure. I mean, one person even said that it's easier to get into the Sears Tower And, you know, I mean, logically, you would think that after 9/11, buildings might be a little leery of some tourist. Take that how you will. I'm not trying to make a statement by that by any means. I'm just saying. But, yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm saying, like, people lurking about the buildings. I'm not saying, you know, specific groups of people is what I'm trying to say. But they just do not like visitors, I guess. So, yeah, screw them, I guess, you know. Alright, so we have our floorings done. And, well, not over here, I guess. Let's speed this up. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. Up there, it's messed up at the windows. I will go back and I'll fix that here shortly, off screen. But for now, we have our basic structure in place for what we're doing. So what we're going to do at this point is start our stairs. And that's relatively simple. All we're going to do is bust out the wood that we used for our lobby. And that was... it might have been the jungle wood. It might have been the spruce. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was the spruce. Yeah, it was. And we're gonna put some night potion on, just so we can see better over here since I had to kill that block. And we are going to start our stairs, just one after the other, going down. And we will go back and actually put actual stairs here in a minute. We're just doing this to get a base. And there you go. We have our first set of stairs in place. And let's go ahead and start our second set. Inside... well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look back at our picture. And let's get a full view of our project here. On our lobby that we're working on, we have a circle. That looks like it's pretty much just for design purposes. That's going around the stairway on the inner side of the wall. So we are going to have to make some edits to our project here before we continue. So we need to look and see, where is that circle going to be? And to me, it looks like it's immediately after the staircase. So it looks like we're going to have to be putting it right about here. So let's go ahead and pull up our gray wool again. And we are going to start hacking away at this wall. Let's start taking it out right here. Just doing it slowly. Don't want to rush anything. And obviously this is not going to be a circle. It's going to be a... well, it's going to be a piss poor circle pretty much. But it's going to be a circle nevertheless. What do you think of that? Does that look good? Let's fill these in and get a better idea of what that's going to look like. And hopefully we don't run into this dang waterfall over here. I think that looks pretty symmetrical. Yeah, I think that's good. Now what we're going to do on this side, before we reach our waterfall over here, is we're going to take this staircase, this flooring out just a little bit. Now, just a note before I go any further, everything that we're doing over here, we are going to do to the opposing side over here. See, we have our block in place. So eventually our lobby is just going to be as wide as this wooden platform, pretty much. Now with that said, let's go ahead and start work on our inner stairway. I'm going to put stairs down right here. And let's fly over. And set the wood blocks for the next, and the next, and the next. And we're just going to build on this. So, stairs. And now we got to go up one more. Alright. And we have reached our top floor. More or less. We have to make our floor first. So I'm going to go ahead and make this, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, and as you can see, we now have 3 floors in our main lobby here. And now, the reason I did this over here with the stairs is that if we go back to our picture, we can compare that on the stairway, it is in fact the same exact coloring as the walls. So you're only going to actually be able to tell that it's a circle at an angle. Nevertheless, it's there, and that's what we have to work with. So, you know, unless you make your project bigger, this is what's going to happen. And, you know, I don't think it looks that bad. I mean, obviously it could use another block there to cut it off, but otherwise, you know, I think it looks pretty good. So we're just going to go over here and kind of wall this off just a little bit to make it not look so apparent that there's a big freaking waterfall. Taking the place of the lobbies. And people can walk in here. Maybe we'll have like 2 rooms here and a bed. And on the top level the same. So with our lobby side building in place over here, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and do the exact same thing to the opposing side, and I'll come back and we will be standing in between 2 of these structures. Be right back.